Hello everyone, I hope everyone is safe and doing good. Welcome back to my channel Trick or Treat with Mathematics. So this video is a continuation of the ongoing topic on my channel, that is binomial theorem. If you haven't watched my previous videos yet, I will link the playlist up here so that you can find the sequence of the videos. In this video, we will see the concepts of how to find a middle term in the binomial expansion and also the concept of term independent of x with examples. I have taken you through these two concepts in detail so that you will understand the concept behind it and then the formula that you need to use. Okay, so without wasting any more time, now let's jump right into the video. Now let's jump directly into the first topic of this video, that is middle term. So what exactly is the middle term? It's nothing but we need to find the middle term in a binomial expansion. For example, if I say a plus b whole cube, what is the formula? A cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. You can apply binomial theorem, you know the formula, just expand. Now, what is the expansion of a plus b whole square? A square plus 2ab plus b square. What do you observe here? N here is 3. And n here is 2. That means the power here is odd and the power here is even. In short, if a plus b whole power of n, and we need to expand this binomial with regards to n, then how many number of terms are there in this expansion? You know that we have n plus 1 terms in the binomial expansion, a plus b whole power of n, or for any binomial for that matter. Here, how many terms do you have if n is even? We have 3 terms because n is 2. So, n is here is 2, but n plus 1 is 3. So, we have total 3 terms in the binomial expansion. And here, n is 3, but n plus 1 is 4 because in total we have 4 terms in the binomial expansion. Right. So, what is the pattern that you are observing here? After expanding, we are getting 1 term more. That is a well-known fact for you by now, right? But I would like to ask you to pick out the middle terms in these two binomial expansions. What would you pick? You would say that without knowing what exactly it means, you would say that you will go to the expansion, you will see that, okay, fine. In this expansion, there are 4 terms, but there is no single middle term here. That means there are 2 middle terms here, if you see, because it has 4 terms. Even number of terms, right? We will not have a direct way or will not have a single middle term, right? This is nothing but n plus 1 by 2 and n plus 3 by 2. That is the n plus 1 by 2 term and n plus 3 by 2 term in the binomial expansion of a plus b whole cube are the middle terms. You can see yourself. If you put n as 3 in this, 3 plus 1 by 2 is 2 and 3 plus 3 by 2 is 0. So the second and the third term of the binomial expansion a plus b whole cube are the middle terms. That means, in short, whenever n is odd, the middle terms of the binomial expansion are these two. We'll have 2 middle terms. Okay? And in the same way, now let's try to look into the even power. How many middle terms do you have? Without knowing that concept, you'll say straightforward 1. Okay? Even power, and it's a small power. You know the expansion, you'll do it and you'll get it. But what if n is like 10, 20, 30, even though they are even powers, there is no direct way for us to find. Like we need to write the entire expansion. Rather, here if you observe, 2ab is the middle term. That means just by conclusion, you can say that there is one middle term in even power whenever n is even. Why can you say that? Because after you expand in even power, you get odd number of terms, and these two are the corner and this is the center one. So we can say that one is a middle term. Can we represent this middle term as n by 2 plus 1th term? Yes. The middle term of the binomial expansion a plus b whole power of n, where n is even, can be represented as n by 2 plus 1, and in this case 2 by 2 plus 1. That is second term in this expands the middle term whenever n is even. So this is the basic concept that you need to understand, and how we have derived the middle terms as these two terms. Now this is your understanding. So what are you thinking now? Okay, fine, I got the middle terms, but how do I find the middle term if the expansion is a bigger one? That is, in this case you can say these two are middle terms directly. Whenever they ask you what are the middle terms of a plus b whole cube, you say 3a square by 3ab square. But what if we need to find the middle term of a plus b whole power of n, where n is 30, 40? Then we use the concept of general term to say that, okay, so if n is 30, then we have 31 terms, and then we'll say that 16th term will be the middle term. So we need to find 16th term so that we can say, okay, fine, this is the middle term. Now let's see how to do that. So how do you find the middle term now? You got the what is the middle term, but how do you find it? What is the general term formula? We know that TR plus 1 is equal to NCR into, if a plus b whole power of n is the expansion, a to the power of n minus r into b to the power of r. Right. So here we need to find r. Okay. So n plus 1 by 2 is actually the r plus 1th term, right? Because we need to find this term as a middle term. So here we are finding this term, right? But our expansion has r in it. So we need to deduce r from this one. Okay? How do we do that? We'll say that n plus 1 by 2 is this, in short, because t r plus 1, we'll substitute r plus 1 as n plus 1 by 2, because we need to find that one. So how do you get this? N plus 1 by 2 minus 1 is equal to r. So if you do this, you'll get the rth term, or you can substitute this r here. So what do you get here? R is equal to n plus 1 minus 2 by 2. It's nothing but n minus 1 by 2. So here we got r as n minus 1 by 2. In the same way, if you take n plus third as r plus 1, we get how much? N plus 3 by 2 minus 1 is equal to r, and we get n plus 1 by 2 as r. So n minus 1 by 2 and n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so in short, for n plus 1 by 2th term, the middle term can be represented as NCn minus 1 by 2 into a to the power of n minus 1 by 2, n minus 1 by 2, and b to the power of n minus 1 by 2. That is NC n minus 1 by 2, a to the power of 2n minus n plus 1. That is n plus 1 by 2, b to the power of n minus 1 by 2. So this is one of the middle terms, that is n plus 1 by 2. Directly you can substitute the value of n here and you'll get the answer. Now, what is the middle term of n plus 3 by 2? That is, if you take n plus 3 by 2 as r, you know for a fact that r we got n plus 1 by 2 by calculation. So NCn plus 1 by 2, a to the power of n minus n plus 1 by 2 to b to the power of n plus 1 by 2. That is, we get NC n plus 1 by 2, a to the power of n minus 1 by 2 and b to the power of n plus 1 by 2. So this is the middle term. T n plus 3 by 2 is equal to this. Okay. So if n is odd, we have two middle terms, that is t n plus 1 by 2 and 3 n plus 3 by 2. First we'll find the middle terms and then we'll substitute the value of n in order to get what is the middle term, exactly the value of the middle term. Okay, again, there is another theory behind this. You observe these coefficients. Okay, an observation here is these coefficients. These are the middle coefficients. Middle coefficients are the greatest coefficients. So the greatest coefficients of the binomial expansion are the middle coefficients when n is odd. When n is even, we'll derive the nth term and n by 2 plus 1th term and we'll get the middle coefficient. Okay, so these are the greatest coefficients when n is odd. Why are we calling them as greatest coefficients? Because, for example, I'll say what, let's take Pascal's triangle only here. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1 and we get 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. If you see this here, this is the middle coefficient in this expansion, and is this not greater than all the coefficients? Yes. If you do the same thing for 5 also, you will get 2 middle coefficients and those are 10 each, and that is also greater than all the other coefficients in the expansion. If you do this for 10, 20, 30, check yourself. All of the middle coefficients with respect to the power n being odd and even will be determined and will be equivalent to the greatest coefficient. That means the middle coefficients are the greatest coefficients. Okay. So now what is n by 2 plus 1th term? That is, whenever n is even, how do you find the middle term? You know for a fact that we need to find Tn by 2 plus 1th term. That is nothing but NC R. We need to find R. What do you think R is here? Is it not straightforward that actually the general term is TR plus 1 and here in place of R we have n by 2 directly and in place of 1 we have n. So R is here n by 2 into a to the power of n minus n by 2 into b to the power of n by 2. So we get NC n by 2, a to the power of n by 2 and b to the power of n by 2. So this is nothing but the middle term of a binomial expansion when n is even. Okay, this is how you find the middle term in a binomial expansion. Now let's see a quick example. Here, find the middle terms in the expansion of this. So what do you note here? First you need to determine what is n, 9, and this is the expansion. So we know for a fact that whenever n is odd, in general we get 10 terms in the expansion because it's n plus 1, right? So whenever n is odd, how many middle terms do we get? 2, that is n plus 1 by 2 and n plus 3 by 2. So we get 2 middle terms. So what are this? If you substitute n as 9 here, we get 9 plus 1 by 2 and 9 plus 3 by 2. And so in general we get 10 by 2, that is 5, and 12 by 2, that is 6. So in short, the middle terms are T5 and T6. Yes. So now substitute this in the formula of TR plus 1, that is NCR into a power of n minus r into b power of r. You don't have to remember the term formula per se. You can just remember this, get the middle term and substitute the values there. So here r plus 1 is 5, right? So r is 4. Yes. So how much? 9c4 into what is a? P by x whole power of 5 into x by p whole power of 4. Okay, and then what is P6 here? 9c5 because 6 is r plus 1 and r is 5. Okay, so 9c5 into p by x whole power of 4 into x by p whole power of 5. That is, if you further simplify, we get 9c4 into p by x, and this we get 9c5 into x by p. So these two are the middle terms of the expansion. This. Okay. The next topic in this video is term independent of x. That is how to find the term independent of x. What do you mean by the term independent of x? It's nothing but x to the power of 0. Right. So if you are saying we need to find one term that doesn't have x or doesn't have y or any variable for that matter in the binomial, then can you not say that it means we shouldn't have x in that term? Yes. So that means, in short, in this case, in this binomial, here if we want to find the term independent of x in this binomial, then x should not have any power. Or can we not say that we shouldn't have x at all in that term? That means, can we not say that that term is the constant term in this expansion? Yes, and that constant term will have x as 0? Yes. So that means, in short, for this expansion, the term independent of x is nothing but the constant term, where the power of x is 0. Now, how to find such term independent of x in the binomial expansion? What is the process? Remember our old and our favorite general term, right? We will assume that, I'll give you the steps here and let's solve the problem there. We will assume that first you need to know term independent of x or y or any variable that they give you in the question, means the power of that variable should be 0. Okay. The second step would be, we need to assume that this x to the power of 0 or y to the power of 0, this should present in the general term. Okay, and here general term is what? TR plus 1, right? And then once we find the general term, we'll substitute n, we don't know r, so we'll leave r and then we'll directly write the general term with r as unknown. Okay. Then what you do is, definitely you will get something in the form of x in the general term. Definitely, because a is this, b is this, and general term if you write, you will get 8 power of n minus r. So this will have some power and this will have some power, right? So in that case, what we'll do is, we know for a fact that x should be 0 and we assume that this x to the power of 0 is present in this general term. Then what we'll do is, we'll equate the powers of x. That is, we need to equate the powers of x in the general term as 0. Doing this, what we will get? We will get the value of r. When you equate the power, you will get the value of r, right? Please substitute r in general term. Automatically, after substituting, the power of this x will become 0, because for example, if you say r is 3 and 15 minus 5r, if you say this is the power of x and we are equating this to 0 in the step, so what do we get? We get 15 is equal to 5r and r is equal to 3. So when you substitute this 3 here, do we get 0? Yes. So that means x power of 0? Yes. So automatically the term will become 0 and the remaining coefficient will become the constant term. So after this step, you will get the constant term. This is small algorithm that you need to follow in order to find constant term. Okay, keeping this in mind, now let's try to apply this to this. So what is the first step? First step means we need to know that yes, a term independent of x is nothing but x power of 0. Right. What is the second step now? The second step is the general term. So we'll assume that x power of 0 is present in the general term. And here the general term is tr plus 1. 10 cr, n is 10 here, right? Into x by 3 whole power of 1 by 2 is because root. And then we get into 10 minus r into root 3 by 2 x square whole to power of r. Right. So now 10 cr, we'll need to simplify it. X to the power of, let's try to put x and the constants differently. X to the power of 10 minus r by 2 into 3 to the power of minus 10 minus r by 2, because 3, I took the reciprocal, which will become 3 power of minus 1. And here 3 to the power of r by 2, because root I have taken that, and 2 to the power of minus r, because 2 also I took the reciprocal, and x to the power of minus 2r. Right. So this is the simplification of this. Now, what are the x terms here? These two. So using the formula of a power of n into a power of n, we get a power of m plus n. So we'll do what? 10 cr into x to the power of 10 minus r by 2 minus 2r into same here 3 to the power of minus of 10 minus r by 2 plus r by 2 into 2 to the power of minus r. Okay. Now 10 CR into x to the power of 10 minus 5r by 2. I'm just simplifying this into 3 to the power of r minus 10 by 2 plus r by 2. So we get what? 2r by 2 minus 10 by 2. So I'll directly write 2r minus 10 by 2 into 2 to the power of minus r. Okay, we know for a fact that we have reached a position where we divided x, 3 and 2. We divided the coefficients and variables separately. And after taking this step, we need to equate the power of x as 0. Right, that means we are assuming that this term will have x to the power of 0. So what we'll do is we'll equate this power to 0. So bases are equal, equate the power. So what we'll get here, x to the power of 10r by r by 2 is x power of 0. Bases are equal, equate the power. So what do we get here? 10 minus 5r by 2 is equal to 0. 10 minus 5r is equal to 0. 5r is equal to 10 and r is equal to 2. So from here we got r as 2. So now since we know that r is equal to 2 and we got the r as 2 here, just directly substitute r in this term. So now what we'll get? 10c2 into x to the power of 10 minus 5r. 5 into 2, 10 minus 10 by 2, that is 0. So x to the power of 0 into 3 to the power of minus 2 into 2 is 4 minus 10 minus 6 by 2 minus 3 into 2 to the power of minus 2. So x is 0. So we get the term independent of x now because x power of 0 is 1. So we get 10c2 into 1 by 27 into 4, that is 45 by 27. So this is how you find the term independent of x. So I hope you understood the two concepts taught in today's video, that is the middle term and also term independent of x. So please do apply these concepts in all the problems, and I'm sure it will now be very easy after you watch my video. So I hope you understood today's video. If you like my video, I request you to please like, share and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell notification down below so that you will never miss an update from me. Please share my channel to as many as possible, whoever needs some help with mathematics, and help me grow on this platform. So I will see you all in my next video. Until then, stay safe and be happy. Bye.